Just first part. Now I'm going to go island in depth that I feel comfortable going through the island place, and I don't want to misstep or see me playing through it. Now make no mistake, hand it to me quite a bit. Because for me going through it the first time was to get clear, know what I'm talking about. I don't need to know what I'm doing 100% of the time, but for the most part, the information that I give you all, I want to be clear and accurate. It's summer solstice. For those of you who aren't astronomy or astrology savvy, that means it's the longest day in summer. Um, I just thought that you all might want to know that. So, first let's go over some characters. In Bitterblack Island, there are three main characters. Two of them are made known pretty quickly. Um, the first one is Olra, or Orla. Orla is how you pronounce her name. Orla is actually the person responsible for calling you to Bitterblack Island. Um, she actually gets possessed by the pawn or Arisen, one or the other, of yeah, there we go. The Arisen of a pawn of a past Arisen. That past Arisen is Damon, who we will meet later on. He is the second character, and then there's Barrick. Barrick, probably my favorite character out of the three. Um, he is a fellow Arisen, just kind of working his way through this labyrinth, just like you are. And unlike most of the other pawns that you see in here, he is not hostile to you. Pretty much every other character that walks on two legs, pretty much anything in this place, is hostile. These two being the only exception to that. Your pawns, I have three with me right now. There's Scylla, of course, Ginger, and Jorgen. They're getting swapped out. However long they can hoof it, until then, they're just gonna like hang with us until they get killed. I don't plan on reviving anything that gets felled here, unless we are fighting a boss, and that's because if your pawn that boss becomes that much harder. But any monster, anything like non-boss related that kills these guys, I'm going to take that as a sign that I need to up the ante for the pawns, so I'm just going to let nature take its course and swap them out for something better. Orla functions much like the inn here. Oof. That voice. So if you're playing along, you might notice a change in Orla's voice. That's because the pawn that was possessing her is no longer there, so the voice that was speaking through her no longer present. I do wish that I could have like showed me some footage of me playing through this fresh, but I wanted to take in as much information without having to worry about the content that I was uploading. So the best way for me to do it was very slow, very arduous, and I don't want to put that kind of content out there. Um, I'm gonna just, first off, Orla can purify any cursed objects that you find in the maze of Bitterblack Island. So any kind of gear, novelty, or weapon or armor that you find that is corrupted by this place, you can bring to her and she will purify it for a slight cost of risk crystals. We have a bit of this going through it. I won't really do much right now, but I will show some footage of me purifying stuff and even showing you some of the stuff you could get. Like I said, functioning as the inn, you can also deposit all of your unneeded stuff while you're here with her. This stuff I will keep. Peppermint seeds, I'll show you what they were for later. Here, some of the enemies, some of the bosses that can be seen here are, what is it? The, cursed and even attack in tandem. You'll see beefed up versions of Dragonkin, basically in their elemental forms. What else? Living armor, a gazer, which is the modified version of an evil eye. And then what else? I want to say cockatrices as well. So pretty much, like I said, everything here is designed to kill you as quickly as possible. I still have one of those. The fight that I just got through doing was the boss fight of this whole area, and it was rough. And what I understand is that the second time going through is basically like playing on New Game Plus, so you all are going to see me struggle for a bit. So this will be fun. I'm going to keep these because these buff you, and you can't go through this area, not the second time, without having buffs available to you. Rancid bait meat. I will keep that just to show you all what it does. Got quite a bit of materials that I'm very happy to see. I still have 3 wake stones, I'm going to keep that, and I have all 3 types of dragon tears. We're going to need that to boost our collection rate. These are the weapons that I will be using. 2 of them are not dragon forged. I plan on getting them dragon forged sometime while going through here. There are dragonkin here, so I plan on trying my best to get them dragon forged. This I'm not too, like, if it doesn't get dragon forged, it just doesn't get dragon forged. But the galvanic razors, as it stands right now, are my only lightning elemental based weapons, so I definitely want to get those as powered up as possible. Gold forged kunais, really nice, really glad that I picked those up. Silver forged militant dove, this is just in case I run out of healing items while in this place and I need some form of emergency healing. The militant dove has passive healing while you have it equipped. Chilling razors for the ice element, heaven's keys for the holy element, and then right now what I have equipped are the sapphire daggers. They have fire element on them, as well as they slowly deplete the defense stat of whatever you're hitting. Dragon Wing Circlet. We'll look at all this armor stuff in a minute. Lordly Cloak. But right now, I'm just gonna toss it all in here. This Golden Ring. So some of the items that you can get from this place include items like the Swordsman's Ring, the Daggerist Ring, the Magic Bowman's Ring. Basically, rings that augment your abilities that you use. This will upgrade Blink Strike and Burst Strike into a higher form where you dash faster, longer. It's useful. Macabre statues and Moonbeam gems. You will see what those are for also. Let's see. And these are all the healing items I have right now, so those will do. Scylla has blast arrows. If you equip your pawn with arrows, they will use them if they deem it necessary. And I gotta tell you, having someone fire blast arrows while you are also trying to do damage to whatever the heck is kicking your ass is very useful. Lift stones, Scylla's gonna carry most of those. I've got 2. I always try to carry at least 1. Your fairy stones do not work in this place. So always have at least 1 lift stone if you're trying to get out as quickly as possible.
If there is aught I can do, say it.
Alright, I'll just go over my equipment real quick. Always gonna have the Dragon's Eye band. Just love the way it looks. That's it. That's all there is to it. It's nothing else. It gives a nice buff resistance to skill stifling, and as you can see, like my resistances are like out the wazoo. I do not like being afflicted with anything, especially here in this place. An affliction can mean the difference between life and death. Got a silver forged Blight lamellar jacket. That's gonna be dragon forged, and later on, in fact, I have the materials right now to silver forge and maybe even gold forge it, and I'll show you what that means once we get to Barrack. Iron bandings, I might change those to my gold forged evening tights. It's just because what do these do? Sleep resistance versus the gold forged evening tights, sleep resistance. In fact, yeah, I'm just gonna go on and switch those out. Alright. Let's see. We had a lordly cloak here. Where is that? Right here. It's all white. Cape worn. It gives 5 resistance to holy magic. Not really necessary in this place. Most of the magic you're going to be encountering is going to be fire, lightning, or abysmal in nature. So don't stress having resistant elemental resistances outside of that. What's next?
If there is aught I can do, say it. Pray, permit, pray, take care.
This is Barrack.
Sent our host to his grave, have you? Remind me never to cross you. Still, seems these walls aren't about to come crumbling down for want of his presence. Mayhap they've taken root one material plane. 'Tis idle conjecture, and a precious one either way. If you've the need and the coin, I the wares.
Right, so going based off of what Barrick just stated, like I said, I did just beat the boss of this area. He did, and he was supposedly the creator of this realm. In his absence, this place is still here, and stably. So, there's something else keeping this place here. We're gonna go poking around and seeing what that is. Barrick has, as long as they are dragon forged. I will show you what that means in just a second, but let's see what we can buy from him first. 3 bombing incense. Yeah, just gonna take those. I definitely need these. Secret softener. I have cockatrice liquor, so I don't need secret softener that bad. However, I wouldn't mind giving it to the pawns just so they can use it. And I've got quite a good chunk of change that I can use here. Stuff here is, it can range between not too expensive to super expensive. Like, what the hell are you doing charging this much? Peninsula is 3. That'll top me off at 10 for those. Harspun sauce, not really. Harspud sauce. I always put it in that word, and I don't know why. Frozen, definitely. These are the weapons he sells. Nothing super, like all the gear I have, even my pawn, all the gear that I have, it's better. We're good. Want quadruple numbers in that block. As you can see, for strength, for magic, on my main weapon, that's these daggers, I'm at over 1000, close to 1100 for physical, and close to 1300 for magical, and my magic bow a little bit over 1300. So make sure you are in that neighborhood. Even if you're at like not got like 800, 700, you're gonna die. You're not even, you're gonna be doing poopy damage, and the things that you hit are gonna laugh at you. For skills, Magic Rebalancer and Shadow Shackles, I'm keeping one or the other. Probably gonna go with the Magic Rebalancer right now. Shadow Shackles are kind of useful, but not super useful here. Most of the things that you hit, it'll hold them in place, but it's not necessary. Because if it's something that you can hold in place, it's something you can kill quickly. If it's something you can't hold in place, it's not going to be helping that much. Magic Rebalancer is definitely more useful for the playstyle that I'm going for, because it will buff not only me, but my teammates who are using magic, as well as buff our magic defense. And a lot of the enemies here do use magic, so don't be afraid to stock up on, magic defenses. So that being said, I will go with Cutting Wind, which will turn into Shearing Wind because of the gear that I have. It's a good way to close in on enemies, good way to cover ground if needed, and a good way to rack up damage quickly if you spam it. So always a good place for me to start. Magical Gleam I have specifically because of one deadly encounter that happens here. I won't be using it, not immediately. I'm going to take it off and put back on 6-fold bolts, which will become 9-fold bolts due to the ring that I have equipped. This does ice damage, Ricochet Hunter does lightning damage, and Explosive Rivets, you can guess, does fire damage. 3 base magic forms. These are my augment loadouts, Acuity and Clout, just to boost my fire and magic, physical and magic damage. Ferocity to boost my core skills. Same case here, Clout and Ferocity. Sinews so that Scylla can carry more impacts. I can't remember what that does. Your ability to knock opponents down. And we're going to change up Deathly Arrow. I don't need. Can change that to this. Flying Din. What does that do? Yeah, no, that doesn't need to happen either. Body Binder would be a good trade-off, I'll say, for Shadow Shackle. So, I don't know. I mean, like, the only other thing I can think to add here is Deathly Arrow, which does kind of good damage. So, that's probably what I'll use just starting out. And if I find myself needing to be able to hold and pin down these opponents, I'll go for the other thing. Dazzling Blast I just have here because it's useful. It gets me in and out of some issues. Now, let's talk about rarefication. So, as long as you have a Dragon Forged item, Barrick can Infernal Hide. Okay, got it. Barrick can Silver Forge and then Gold Forge any item that you have here. Dragon's Breath, I don't have the items necessary, so you need the materials necessary and you need the Rift Crystals necessary. All that being said, doesn't look like I can rarefy anything at this moment. Oh, this, right. Rubikite, I got a butt ton of that while in this labyrinth, so I'm gonna go ahead and Silver Forge that just so I have better defenses. And I can even Gold Forge it with the Ox Horns that I get from the Eliminators. Eliminators are pesky little, not even little, they're just pesky enemies altogether. They only thing I can say that they don't care for or don't really like being hit with is fire. And even if you use fire against them, it's only them catching, like, they burn easily. If you use explosives on them, it can knock them up if you have good knockdown capabilities. Knock them up. Oh goodness, my language. So I'm gonna go ahead and Gold Forge this. This is actually I think the first armor I had Dragon Forged. So this jacket has been with me for a while. It's actually pretty nice to see it Gold Forged at this point. Alchemic Bangles, Sorcerer's Quartz. I only have 6 of those and I don't want to use them because I don't know what all they are good for. Dragon Wing Boots, I only have 2 of those, don't want to use that. Now, let's look here. Poison Hydro Fang. Only got 4 of those, so I'm not going to use all 4 on that. Evil Eyeball, no. Yeah, I'll use. So this only requires 1 Griffin's Claw and some gold. Boom, done. Interesting fact. Some of you at this point in the game, you will probably already know this, but your pawn cannot Dragon Forge equipment. If you want to Dragon Forge equipment, it has to be equipped to you. And even then, you have to defeat a dragon. Once you defeat the dragon, there is a chance that your equipment will Dragon Forge. Now, the chance does increase the more upgraded your equipment is. So having a 3-star equipment versus a 1-star equipment on hand when you defeat a dragon, the 3-star is going to have a better chance of dragon forging.
No dying.
Alright, so that was basically the breakdown of this place. It took about 25 minutes. Sorry that took so long. Aid of the Emerald King. What is this? Slay all goblin shamans in the Witchwood. I'll pick it up, but this is neither the time nor the place for that. There are 2 shortcuts built into this place. The first is over here. Now, since I've gone through this place, all shortcuts have been dealt with, closed off. You can no longer go through them. The second shortcut is on the other side of the island. Here. Alright. Let's go straight in and let's do this. I will try to make a habit, not this episode, but I will try to make a habit of starting off each episode with a little bit from this gravestone. I believe there's 12 entries. I could be wrong. I'll read each one and then, go into the lore about it. And then we'll progress through more of the labyrinth. Going straight in. Labyrinth holds creatures that no one peninsula. Okay, on the peninsula. I could not read the rest. So here we are, Bitterblack Isles. You can already hear goblins. Greater goblins. These are basically, I guess you could say like orcs. Their size is very big. They're a bit taller than, I guess you could say, hobgoblins. Ooh. Don't try not to turn your back to them. Oh, I saw that happening and, I could not stop it from happening. This is magic rebuffer. Slightly boost your magic capability. Ooh, that was lightning. There's a shaman somewhere. I see him. So the shamans have resistance to magic, doing some pretty shitty damage right now. You can buff yourself twice with magic rebuffer. So if you are using that, take advantage of that. Let me think here. Pick this up. Skull pendant. We're gonna need that. I don't want to get straight into the habit of just already spamming these. Okay. Door says there's 2 ways to go, or map says there's 2 ways to go. For this place, I'm gonna keep a map on. It's just, it's a necessity here. This place, like I said, is a labyrinth. It's very easy to get lost here if you are not familiar with the area, and even I, from time to time, get lost. So, map says that we can go this way, or we can go this way. And you can even see there's a place to drop down that way. We're going to stay on the top floor, work our way down, and then circle back to the top. I'll show you how. Get into the habit of breaking things here. Unlike in the other I guess you could say, other world or other realm back in Grancis. The drops here are definitely worth picking up. So break any crate you see, you'll find something rare, something at least worth picking up, I promise you. Even if it's an empty flask, I promise you it will be worth it. Alright. Herspet sauce. Nope, that's just juice. Those are the elixirs. That's a chimera. That's a gore chimera. It doesn't see us right now, so we're in the clear. But that's not going to be an easy fight. And that's just the first area. And by hub, I mean where all the areas branch off. Fuck! Man-eaters, or... That thing will cast a spell that will cause instant death if you stay inside of it. Alright. So what did we get? Let's look. Bitterblack gear, level 1. It's gonna turn into a, basically an accessory that you can put on. One of these things, jewelries. It's gonna turn into that. What it will turn into, random, don't know. But we'll purify it when we get the chance. Gonna go as far as I'm gonna take this in chunks, so it'll work out. What else did we get? Some materials. Septoscopic crystal, the former properties of a man-eater, used in crafting weapons and armor. You can combine it with what? I don't know, but oh, look. Moonstone, Rubikite, and I like keeping both of those just the way they are, so I'm not even going to use it like that. Man-eaters, or as I call them, mimics, one of my least favorite enemies. They always scare the shit out of me every time I activate them. They're just, and they are fairly lethal. If you happen across a man-eater, they have the capability to petrify you. They have the ability to cast a death spell. Leapworms. Leapworms, kill them, back away from them. Their blood causes degeneration of your defense stat. That's one of the reasons why I like the Magic Archer class. There's another one right there. Alright. There they are. One of them dropped a rift crystal, that's neat. Leapworms usually drop leapworm jelly. All I can think that it's used for is upgrading your armor. I don't even think you can combine it. You can't. What's next? Alright, looks like we just have the Chimera. Let's... Ooh! Didn't mean to do that. Goblin Shamans, deal with these guys first, because they can make this fight very difficult. Just like all other Goblinkin, these things don't like fire or ice, so if you've got the chance to use it, use it. King Warsh, nice. And look at that, both of them just went straight down. Like, it wasn't even... And for those of you who, like, don't know. I really don't consider this thing a I don't consider the Gore Chimera a boss, so I'm not too concerned about it. I would very much like to get through this fight without being killed. But of course, of course. You know what? There. That just happened, alright? You just got exploded. So explosive rivets will stick into the side of, His roar actually damaged me, oh my goodness. Kill the goat as quickly as possible. I don't even care. I'll deal with the snake now. Just take this thing out in sections, and then as long as you, anytime you cut off the snake's tail, you want to cauterize it so that the snake does not grow back. The goat will not revive, but the snake will. That lion's going to frenzy at some point, and I don't know when. But explosive rivets will basically stick into whatever you fire them into, and once you hit them, you basically have a bomb. Let's do this. Ricochet. Hunter basically does what it says. Anything that it hits, it'll bounce off. He's gonna pounce, isn't he? Nope. And then Ninefold Bolt. An ice-based spell. Basically fires 9 different bolts straight at your opponent. Alright, well, you guys were useful for a distraction, I guess. Now, let's see if we'll get to see one of the more annoying things. I think it's cool, but it's also annoying. Features of Bitterblack Island. And that's basically... he's dead, too. Oh well. R.I.P. Anytime you slay an enemy in Bitterblack Island, and I do mean any time you slay an enemy, there is a chance that it will automatically spawn a second enemy. These enemies vary between wargs. What are they? Elder ogres and death itself. Not wargs. Garms. That's what they're called. Garms. Anybody who's a fan of Tolkien, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Giant hyena, tiger-looking monstrosities. Elder ogres are just beefed up, meatier versions of ogres. They just take 0 damage. Gonna break all this stuff, pick up all this stuff. I like having smaller parties anyways, like full disclosure. The smaller your party is, the less health management you have to concern yourself with, because it's just your pawn. If you're playing this game, 9 times out of 10, your pawn will do exactly what you want them. Fucking A. That was a bad timing. Get out of that. Oof.
Where my scarf is this object.
Alright. Got it. There we go. I'm already heavy. Nice. Bad time to to talk about pawn behaviors, but pawn inclination is basically a habit where your pawn, this goes with the lore of the game too, your pawn will start, its behavior will begin to mimic the way you play the game. And so therefore, anytime you see an item and you're prone to pick it up, your pawn will pick it up. Anytime you see enemy or battle strategy that you are prone to take, your pawn will take up the same battle strategy. It's a nice feature if it's just you and your pawn, but because you can take up to 2 other pawns with you and your pawn, making your party total 4, there's some variety and variables thrown into that can make other pawns act in unpredictable ways. So pawn inclination can sometimes screw you out of a well-placed battle plan. Alright, let's look for the... Where am I trying to go? Here we go. Ricochet Hunter. Because I don't know what's around this corner. Always like checking for traps. What the hell? I hear more goblins. See, like, I am a habitual miner, and my pawn knows this. So anytime my pawn sees an opportunity to mine, she will automatically do it. What is this? Alluvial Yor Ore. An ancient ore deposit recovered from a collapsed rock face combined with other materials. What can you do? Ancient ore. Conqueror. Nah, that's not needed. Leaden globe. I only need one of these. Leaden globe. Interesting. So, you can combine this with a pretty stone, which is fairly common around Grancis, to make ancient ore. Adding another one of these to the ancient ore that you made will make a leaden globe. Why you would want to make a leaden globe, I would never understand, because if you knew what a leaden globe was, it causes petrification. Not to others, to you. Anyone who uses it automatically gets stricken with petrification. Makes no sense to me. Wading through this water. Alright, I hear goblins, so we're gonna do this. And then that. That did nothing to them. Okay, that's one down. Haha, I dodged it. A magic rebuffer is just nice to have. Even if your teammates don't use magic, it boosts magic defense, so it's always good to have, especially if you're going into an area that you know has a lot of magic-based attackers. These goblin shamans, I can talk, are a good example. Cockatrice liquor. don't really see a necessity for that. Poison flask. We can combine that. With wood to make arrows, but I don't have a regular bow, so the arrows won't really suit me. Pick that up. Alright, these spiders are hostile. About 40% of the spiders that you will find here are non-hostile.
Does someone live here?
Ceramic jug, spider venom.
This looks interesting.
Dragon Knight's helm. I already have one of those. I'm actually gonna unload some of this onto Scylla. Oh, you've got 2 of those now. Neat. Yep, can't use those. Before giving items to your pawn, check and make sure that they cannot be used. Because pawns, as I found out the hard way while going through here, will use items if they are usable and if the pawn sees that feels that they need the item. I had some rare, I guess you could say, herbs and flowers that I was planning on cashing in for an upgrade, and my pawn just flat out used it to recover health. Never mind that it was super rare and I had to go through like hell and back to get to it. My pawn was just like, oh, I need the health. Sorry, bro. You can do a triple jump. Sunflare is nice because in my mind it also doubles as a triple jump, so it's good for exploration.
Let's have a look about.
Conqueror's Parrot. Conqueror's Parrot is nice. It boosts your attack, and basically, the sooner you can get rid of your threats in this area, so much better. In general, that's a nice rule to have, but this place, the longer your threats linger, the more likely you are to die yourself. Let's go ahead and heal up so I can get a little lighter. What do we have? I don't want to use that. Alright. Wow. Even with a self-aiming bow, I can't seem to hit anything. Alright. Which way did I come from? This way? Yep. Came from this way. Okay, so, first I'm going to show you this area. Let's see. Yeah, alright, so, as you can see, that ledge right there, that's where we were before. So if you come up this way, through here, in here, and, nope, let me think. that way is cut off. So you'll have to go that way. Open this door and boom. Mithridate. There we go. Let's gather here. Rift fragment. Another rift fragment. Nothing else. Good. Oh, broke my ankles, oh well. And there we go. That's what I wanted to show you. So, like I said, anytime you kill an enemy here in Bitterblack Island, there's a chance, and that chance is lingering, so it may not happen immediately, but it can happen every time you happen across the corpse of an enemy. A new enemy will appear. There are 3 types of enemies that will appear. The first, this is a Garm. These guys are nasty. Like, oh, there's 2 of them. That's not cool. It's not cool at all. Because I don't have my Shadow Shackle, which is how I would normally deal with them. Best way to deal with Garms, stay outside of their range of attack. They do have a lunge that can one-shot you. I usually get someplace high up and then try to freeze it. They do take damage, double for headshots. They aren't super, like, vulnerable to ice damage, but they do freeze. If you're in a tight spot, Ricochet Hunter will help rack up your damage real quick. Do not get hit by their breath, it will cause blindness and poison. And when they die, don't stand too close, because you'll get blinded. This one right here is almost dead. It's one down. There's the other. See all that fog right there? That's what would have blinded you. What is this?
This object, it is cursed.
Defeating Garms or any kind of I guess you could say spawn in enemy will reward you some Bitterblack gear. So always, if you have the metal to do it, go ahead and do it. I was expecting it to be just one. I really was. I was taken back by that. I was not prepared for it to be 2. I've fought 2 before, and that was the strategy that I employed. What you saw me do right there. Get to high ground, pick them off one by one. They do climb. So, go ahead and take them out as quickly as possible. Go ahead and grab this light here. Alright, walking down. I'm going to go ahead and sheath these. And the architecture of this place is really, really nice. Like, me as a fan of Dungeons and Dragons, like, I could just see myself wandering these halls endlessly. It just feels nice. It has a very nice, fantastic feel to it. break those. What have we got here? Novelty level 2. So those gear, like all those Bitterblack Island Isles items, they come in 3 levels. Level 1, level 2, level 3, and those levels dictate the rarity and well, yeah, just the rarity of the item. As your pawn says, the deeper you all go, the more they sense some kind of malice. This is said the first time you enter Bitterblack Island too, so it's basically a reference to the boss that's called you here and beckoning you deeper into the lair. The boss of this area. What the fuck? It's a fire drake. Okay. That drake I didn't know was gonna be there. Scared the shit out of me. Oof. Let me catch my breath here. So, the boss of this place, Damon, is calling Arisen to Bitterblack Island to come to him. Not all of them make it, and most of the ones that die turn into something pretty effed up. One of the interesting lores about Dragonkin in this game is that all Dragonkin at one point were Arisens. So, know that. That is an interesting fact. I think it's really cool. If you want more information on it, all wyverns were once striders. All, worms were once mages, and all drakes were once fighters. All fire drakes were once warriors. Thunder wyverns were once rangers, and all, what is that thing called? I think it's ice worms were once sorcerers. It's just an interesting bit of lore for the world that this game exists in. I like it. Oh, there are hellhounds here too. No. Let's deal with them first. Let's go ahead and buff ourselves. Never a good idea to go up against, in fact, yeah, let's just, alright, now I have some ice daggers. Let's see. Scylla, not looking too hot. Let's go ahead and heal her. This applies to a group, but it recovers health completely, and I'm not in need of that. But I will toss this to her so she can use this. Yep, there we go. So that dragon's got quite a bit of health, but my main concern are these things right here. Ooh, I thought he couldn't grab me right there. Boy, let's just do this. Oh, and do I have Smother Sap? I don't have Smother Sap. That's fine, I have Penincias. I actually forgot what I was gonna say. Oh, Right, dragons have breakable parts, which you can use to upgrade your items. Let me go ahead, get a safe distance from this motherfucker. Oof. Oh my gosh. That'll work. And that. Ugh. Fighting this thing here is not ideal. Because he likes to lunge so much. That'll ground him. That would be terrible if he started spamming that, honestly. Nice. So Drake's being fire-based, you want to attack them with some form of ice. Ooh, get up. And these are fire drakes. This isn't just an ordinary drake. He's speaking to us. Oh, let's fix that. Definitely would have been more useful. Having more pawns in this fight, but you know, that's whatever. Get up. I've got no stamina. Liquid Vim could help. In fact, yeah, let's just go ahead and use that. So with Liquid Vim activated, my strategy is going to change up just a bit. Once he gets close to me, I am going to go ahead and there we go. I am doing no damage. Like none. Oh, nice. Get up. Where is that horn? I'd very much like to... Ah, there we go. Ooh, I saw that happening. Never good. Getting close. Like all Dragonkin, you have to deal the final blow to the heart. Fuck. I was trying not to use one of these before we actually got into... What the fuck happened now? God dang it! Never okay! So, fighting two at once, not ideal, not impossible, but definitely not ideal. Okay, I'm alright with that, because I can stop it from happening. Okay, let's do... Do I have a placative brew? No, I don't. This is gonna suck. Okay. It's not impossible. I just have to be strategic about how I fight this next part. So my pawn is possessed, so I'm gonna have to fight my pawn and then this other dragon. At the same time. Heaven's Keys. That'll work. Wait, what just got Dragon Forged? This? That's cool. My pawn still possessed. There we go. Get up. Alright, so... The Cursed Dragon... Anytime you're fighting them, you just want to make sure that you are... using holy magic very quickly. If you can. The Cursed Dragon does not perform possessions. That's a good thing for me, bad thing for Scylla, who got grabbed. It is far more aggressive than usual Dragonkin though, so try not to drop your guard around it. Oof, because see that lunge right there, it does that 3 times in a row. Fuck. Okay. Let's see. And Scylla is cursed right now. That should help. I could use a stamina boost. And furthermore, what I could use more of is... what's this? This protects against debilitations, which I'm not too concerned with right now, but this... one of these should amplify my magic. Oh, none of them do. Then I'll just go with this. Damn it. The Cursed Dragon takes a great deal longer to deal with than other dragons just because it has only one point on it that takes serious damage, and that's the heart. The good news is if it's in an area where it can fly, you can exploit that because it can drop so much easier. So you have more opportunities to attack the heart. Ooh. I'm glad I didn't flinch, but gosh. That should cure us both up. Turn around for me. There we go. Oh, she's cursed again. I'm not helping her this time. Oof. I saw that coming. I refused to dodge. have no health. That should help. Oh my gosh. Nope. Not enough space. And like, see, like, I just hit that thing with my most powerful spell and it did no damage. Oops, I am poisoned. Peninsula. Oh, and now I'm cursed. Lovely. Is she possessed? Oh, wonderful. Get up. Oof. Let's go this way. Ugh. That was not supposed to happen that way. Let's do that. And I don't want to use those yet. Ooh wee, boy. Poisoned, but alive. Let's do this. Where are you? There. This is tense for me. I didn't expect to go through like all of these curatives so quickly. Oh, that roar caused possession. That's never okay. Ah. Use another one of those. Lovely. Not lovely. You're still alive? Oh my gosh. Yes, let me choose the ranger as my pawn. The person with unbeatable range. I won't make it in time, but I'll do some damage. Okay. Okay. Let's just take a moment. I'm cursed, I'm poisoned, I'm dying, that's fine, that's all good. I was not expecting this place to be this difficult. Not the second time around. In the first playthrough, this place was supposed to be a safe place. It is not. Scylla on her last legs. Me close behind. Got some new material. What do we got? Bestial Eye. Eye of a Garm, used in crafting of weapons and armor. And then Fire Drake Fang. Fang rent from the jaws of a resilient drake. Used in crafting and armor. Can't combine it. Can't combine this. Dragon Claw. Then we have Supple Dragon Pelt. Scrap of a dragon hide that can be used in crafting weapons and armor. Bright Amber Scale. Cursed Dragon Horn. Cursed Dragon Scale. Great Wormstone, a chunk scavenged from the carcass of a dragon, used in crafting weapons and armors. Interesting. This was rough, to say the least. Let's see what we can glean from this area. Some elixir. Detoxicating powder. That's nice. Let's go ahead and use that. Actually, Scylla's poison has already ran its course, so I'm gonna just let mine run its course. You can't die from poisoning, however, you can get killed because you got poisoned and then neglected to treat it. And then someone came along and just ended your life. A rock. What else we got here? Copper ore. And then a rock. What else? Okay, so all of that was useless. What's this? At least not here anyways. And that stuff, Crag, I don't know, Crag something. Let me look at what it's called. Crag Shadow Moral. That shit grows here like everywhere. Nothing but copper. Hunk of platinum. Trying to see if it'll give me like a moonstoner. Oh, motherfucker. Oh, she's dead. That's not cool. Okay, great. Oh, that's wonderful. So we leveled up. That's nice. That rock, it makes sense that it would drop that because it has saliva that causes what is it, petrification. So that makes sense. Won't budge. You need a moonbeam gem to open it. So yeah, there are several doors in this area that give you treasure, but you can only open them with a moonbeam gem. I think this needs a void key. No, it doesn't. It's just open. I'm not okay with that. We're gonna go this way. I've had enough of this area. Okay. Let's see. So, normally I would go this way. There's a skeleton right there. That's super welcoming. But I've had my fill of this area, so we're just gonna go back to the opening. Make our way back. There's goblins here. I don't see the chimera here, so I'm not super worried. I'm gonna buff myself twice. My main concern is that bad stamina management. Okay. What's this? Potent green wash. King wash? Nope. Just more potent stuff. King wash. That stuff you can use to make salubrious brew. I don't know what the benefit is of carrying one versus the other, but I'm gonna find it out and I will share it with you all. That open? Nope. This is, though. Not gonna go that way.
Roots. It's such a depth.
No.
What's this?
Ah, leap worms.
This object.
Ooh, one of them dropped something. What did you drop? A novelty. That's nice.
It seems this place is host to only those with some ties to the world. Greater goblin comes!
Take that second one. Let's go ahead and crush these guys.
The Arisen am I.
Ooh, boy. I was not expecting that to be that fast. Like, do that much damage that quickly. Alright, let's go on and get the fuck out of here. This place is tearing us apart. We need better pawns. That's what we need. Nope, just gonna go straight here. So Barrack stays here. In the first playthrough, he bounces around from place to place. And I'm pretty sure once you unlock each place... Oh, this thing has no fuel. Let's just go ahead and put it away. As you unlock each place, he will bounce around once again from place to place, but...
Transmigration of souls.
Hooey.
Another force at work, aiding one another.
So,
Only hope in surviving such a
this is Bitterblack Island. I'm just speechless. If you guys like this, please drop a like. If you really like me, please go ahead, hit the subscribe button. I will catch you all later. Be easy.